Okay, are we? Let's check our mic levels. That's everybody get on their mic. That's mine.
Mickelfin Sandwich Jackson.
Ma'am, Mamo, dog face to the banana patch.
That's my password.
When, boy? When?
Hello, everyone, and good morning. It's Rock and Roll the Podcast, featuring Dr. Nick Redbone, Tom Nelson, and me,
Brock Johnson.
The podcast is brought to you by
Power Plant Car Audio and Accessories in Twin Falls. Catch them on the interwebs at powerplantweb.com. My voice broke there.
I liked it. We did good. We did good.
What happened? Where did we just threw in a good morning and how are you?
I wasn't ready.
Well,
I wasn't. We were just insulting a politician,
well, sure.
and then in a millisecond you jumped into
but
it.
here's the thing.
I need time to prepare.
Okay, look. Look. You're a radio guy. You've been doing this as long as I have.
Yeah.
Well, almost. But here's the deal. You should be ready at a moment's notice to do something.
I did something.
But you weren't prepared. And
It was a little different.
And
We
the
were distracted by the Jolly Pine.
Have a holly jolly Febreze podcast. It smells like a goddamn Christmas tree.
Welcome to episode 43. Confirmed.
43, yeah,
Of
because
Rock and Roll the Podcast. Let's explain what the hell happened.
I'm going to take the blame for that.
But I don't think it's this is all of us as a team. We screwed this up. We've had audio come out without a video component. So we sort of lost track of, and then we were gone for a month.
Yeah.
So we sort of lost track of what our episode number was anyway, and we have had episodes drop like where there's never a video, or video was shot and it comes out 2 weeks behind.
That's
it's like
because I'm an asshole.
No. It's because you're busy. But
You're
it's like
very busy, man.
It's like we're trying to keep two alternate universes lined up,
Yeah.
and they just kind of shifted off the course for a minute.
And the weird thing is neither one of them is canon.
Wow!
I just missed something.
Your nerd. Wow. That was nerd.
I got nerdy
category,
on you,
That was
didn't I?
really cool. It was really
Thanks,
cool.
man. Hey,
good
I'll
job.
see you guys later.
And he's
Bye-bye.
done. This is episode 43, though. So adjust your calendars and your clocks accordingly.
Holy hell! Now
that was a fart.
I thought you farted here about 30 seconds ago when I first heard it.
Is there somebody upstairs just making all sorts of goddamn noise?
Well, I think it's just the floor creaking, but it
didn't
sounds
see
just
me,
like
though.
a fart.
At one point, Dr. Nick is talking, and I'm just looking at you like, what's going on, dude? What did you have a hot dish last night?
The tuna casserole. And actually, when I thought you farted, it was right after you had been spraying Febreze, and I'm like,
that makes sense.
Maybe he's been farting the whole time, and I just didn't hear it. And he's trying to cover it up.
So that's what that was the whole time. I get you.
Yeah.
I get you.
It smells like pine trees and poop down here now.
And we're off to a good start.
It smells like someone took a shit under Christmas.
Santa crapped his drawers.
It's a brown Christmas this year.
Hey, by the way, if you guys saw the video for last episode, I don't know how. I'm going to have to find a way to get the Lutheran Minute in every episode from now on. Because here's the thing. The audio version and the video version are a different thing. I obviously encourage you to listen to the audio, take it with you wherever you are, going to the gym, blah, 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 blah.
And he does the audio, I do the video, and one of the two of us is reliable.
I just sit here and look good.
But the video has different added candy. So you've got to watch the ones on the YouTube and the Lutheran Minute.
I put us in church, didn't I?
Yes, you did. There was even organ music in the back.
Yeah.
It was glorious. So by all means, make sure you're checking out both versions of Rock and Roll the Podcast. This is episode 43.
And I think now the world has slowed down a little bit.
Okay.
I think summer is coming to a close, and so hopefully there are no more unexpected delays.
Yeah, here's hoping. And we'll continue to bring you this high quality rock and roll content. And today we're talking about the record labels. How it used to be a galaxy of different record labels, and lots of them held a ton of power. I mean, you would have in the 60s and the 70s especially, sort of the golden age of big album rock. You had Atlantic, you had Warner Brothers, you had Elektra, you had Asylum. You had, you know what I mean? It just went, and Republic Records. It was everywhere. It went on and on and on. CBS Records.
Sony.
Sony.
RCA, BMG,
EMI.
Island, Def Jam, blah, blah, blah. And many of them still exist, but really at the end of the day, now it's Warner, WEA, and Sony, and Universal.
Yeah, which is, and if you look at those companies, they still will own, like you can still find Atlantic Records, but it's an imprint of one of these three titans. You know, it used to be, there was, the studios were the ultimate gatekeepers, and the labels ran the studios, right?
Right.
So for you to get your record heard and to really make it big, there was no option. You had to be an A&R guy, had to come to one of your gigs or hear, some basement recording you did and see a spark, hear something, and it was kind of an organic thing from there. They'd sign you, you would go into the studio, you'd already owe the label too much money, and off to the races you'd go, and you had options. Now, the only option about what label you're going to end up on is which one of the 30,000 of them that Universal owns do they want to put you on, right?
Mostly. There are still those gems out there.
There are still
that are still doing the independent thing, and most of the independents that we work with are fine little labels. I mean, they're not out to screw their. Well, there's one that I can think of that is straight up out to screw their artists.
Okay,
which is why it's a label where every band releases about one album before they jump ship, and they're like, and it's because the CEO is a complete ass.
Do I know this label?
Oh yeah.
I probably wear some of their merch.
Sweet, sweet, sweet.
I know exactly who you're talking about. That's a shame, too, because I got a bitchin' hoodie from those guys.
Yeah. Still wear the hoodie. It's a free hoodie.
Still wearing the hoodie. It's just that, we won't. Goddamn. There were, and then even the studios that existed, like, once again, using Atlantic as an example, Atlantic would also have, like, their second tier subsidiaries. Like, Atlantic had Atco. And the reason I knew Atco Records is because Pantera came out on Atco. They weren't quite the prestige act that Atlantic would want, the home of Aretha Franklin and the home of Led Zeppelin, and but they still wanted that clout, so they would grab this artist and put them on their second tier imprint.
Atco?
Atco Records. Atco. ATCO. Yeah.
Well, they make good transmissions, too.
I think that's Amco.
Oh, okay.
This episode of Rock and Roll the Podcast brought to you by Power Plant. Power Plant. Power Plant. Power Plant. Power Plant.
Look, I'll clap along with that. That was beautiful.
Yeah, it's just like last episode, it's almost like you pulled a Jedi mind trick or something, and the jingle didn't happen. And I feel like, and then you celebrated it, which Brock, Tom and I worked really long and hard on not only creating the jingle, but then making it like part of the show, making it feel like home.
You did not work hard on it, and it was a pile of garbage.
You hurt my feelings when you rejected it, and Tom's just laughing.
I can't tell if he's laughing or crying, one of the two.
I'm about to cry.
Tom's a drinker, so
this is true. Hey, how about that Jeppson's?
Oh, remember, if you want to never drink anything yummy again, try Jeppson's Malort. Oh, what you? No!
He's gonna do it.
Oh shit! He's gonna do it. He's gonna do it. He's going in. Oh my God! No! Why would you do that when we have something better upstairs?
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Oh, he did it!
He drank the Jeppsons.
Oh,
son of a bitch! Why?
And it still tastes like shit.
Oh, why did you do it?
And you have coffee as a chaser.
That's
even worse.
That's like saying, I drank Pine Sol once and it tasted like shit.
But I drank it again.
Jeez.
Hey, I just had to be sure, man.
An alcoholic in need is an alcoholic indeed.
Hey, I knew that guy.
Yeah.
He was probably doing afternoons. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, once upon a time, back to the record labels, these guys would go around. There were so many of them, they would go around and shop records. Because there were so many of them, and because radio was so important to them breaking records, these guys would show up in markets all over the country. The label represented themselves. The A&R guys would be out shopping the artists. They'd have the artists with them. And that's when you'd hear, the legendary stories of somebody from Atlantic and Jimmy Page showing up at KLOS in LA, and a Coke party breaks out in the studio, and then they're all back at the Hyatt House, and before you know it, KLOS is spinning Immigrant Song.
Yeah, there was actually, and I was visiting with one of our independent. Well, it's not one of our rock indies, but he was working in rock at the time. There was actually a budget for the promo guys who were working for the label who wanted to get the song on the radio.
Yeah.
And at that time, back in the days of AOR, it was very
album-oriented radio.
Yeah, it was very much up to the jock. Like now we have a program director.
Right.
The program director writes the playlist for the day, and it's put together in a computer, and you still spend time with it, but you don't spend time like it like they did back in the 70s.
Not like those guys.
So what would happen is that they'd walk into the radio station for their little powwow, and they would slip some cash and a bag of Coke.
There you go.
In the jacket
With the 45.
of the 45 and give it to the jock.
I wonder
and that's how they got stuff done.
I wonder if that's why promo.
good old days.
I wonder if that's why promo records were always white label. That's the truth. I remember seeing we've got a room right next to us full of white label 45s.
Yeah.
I can remember getting white label CDs.
Yeah.
For sure.
Got a lot of them for and actually
But I didn't get the marching powder in mine.
No.
Weird.
Damn it.
No, they moved that budget to overnighting them for some reason to Twin Falls.
Maybe they decided not to send cocaine to the station I worked in because the general manager was once so stupid he ate tamales with the corn husk still on.
These taste like shit.
You're the dumb. I'm glad you're out of it.
Whatever happened to Barry Ponson?
Just coming up with the tunes today, man.
Oh, full of them.
Hey, you know what? Hey, you guys, you know what? I think right now it's like we're like at a really great spot in the show, like really hitting a plateau. You guys want to share a fruit by the foot?
No.
Sure you do.
But I do, but my teeth are so awful right now I can't eat any of that crap without putting myself in an incredible amount of pain.
Now,
if you have some beef jerky, I'll take some beef jerky.
Hey, Tom, you want some fruit by the foot?
Does that have any marching powder in it?
No, but it's like
they've downgraded
here,
now.
Have some fruit jerky. It's
Well,
two-tone.
I drank that shit, so
Now in the
strip of
jacket,
bacon.
instead of cocaine, it's fruit by the foot.
Remember, fruit by the foot. It's not cocaine. Probably. Hold on. I just gotta. I won't go. I've just confirmed it is not cocaine. I could not snort fruit by the foot.
Are those guys eating that sizzling bacon over there on that podcast?
It
That's
looks
what
just like bacon.
It does.
It doesn't taste like it also tastes really terrible.
Did you just go to a pet food commercial?
That's terrible.
Bacon. I remember that. Yeah, bacon strips.
Bacon
Yeah.
strips.
Oh, God. Are you sure you don't want some of that delicious fruit by the foot?
I would love some, but my teeth would not agree.
Boy, is it tangy. So now we live in a world in the record label universe where it's Universal and Sony and Warner. And, of course, I mean, Universal is Universal NBC.
Yeah.
Warner isn't. Warner is...
Time and all that
that's
stuff.
right. Warner is Time. I mean, these are not just music companies. These are not just television companies. These are multimedia entertainment.
They're corporate overlords.
Juggernauts.
Huge conglomerates. Yeah.
So the artists that get the big giant push from these conglomerates are the Ariana Grandes, the Rihannas, the Taylor Swifts, these giant, enormous super acts that they can cross-platform. You can take a Taylor Swift, and you know the album's going to be good.
I'd take a Taylor Swift twice.
She's a tall drink of water. And then, if y'all break up, she's going to write a whole album about it. Because you're never getting back together. Ooh. So
I was waiting for a tune there.
No,
A Taylor Swift.
No, that
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift.
See, that was different than the jingle.
Yeah,
right? So
I
that
can
was
clap
cool.
along with that.
This whole podcast is just bullshit. You know that? Like everything we've done down here has just been bullshit. And don't get me wrong. I mean, I love it. Sure, I'm done talking about the labels.
Yeah, we're over it.
Who gives two shits? I was going to talk about how you can put Taylor Swift on all your channels, all your internet, all your video. It doesn't matter. You knew that. I knew that. They knew that. Whatever.
That's what they do.
And then we turned the jingle. It's so much bullshit. We had fruit by the foot.
It's just a big
Tom had some
hemorrhoid.
Jeppsons.
I had some Jeppsons.
Yeah. You know, Tom, yesterday, here's a little behind the scenes. I make spaghetti sauce. I make a really, really good red sauce. And I like to share it with the people that I work with, people that I love. And Brock's had it. And this time, excuse me, my phone's made some noise.
That was a fart.
Motion detected at my gate. My old man neighbor's probably mowing his lawn. And Tom got a bag of sauce recently. He's going to eat it this
A
weekend.
bag o' sauce.
It's so good.
I put it in
the
gallon
sauce
bags in my
itself.
freezer.
It's like an entree all by itself.
This is what I hear, man.
If
I trust the dude.
Yeah, it's.
So-
So we cleaned the deep freeze the other day, and I found a little bit of that you made me when my wife was in Wyoming.
Yep, that's right.
The first time, and I promptly defrosted it and just ate the whole thing.
Congratulations. Yeah, it's a food group unto itself. But as I was leaving yesterday, and the phrase, and in my mind, I got the phrase Saucy Thomas. Because, Tom, Thomas, and Saucy Thomas. And then I realized here's the thing. I want Saucy Thomas. Yep, that's my neighbor setting off my alarm.
Yeah.
What I want to happen is, I'm going to turn this off just for the time being, or that will never stop. I want to come up with the sexual act that a Saucy Thomas would be.
See,
Doesn't it sound like a horrible sexual act?
or a drink?
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, that's more interesting than a sex act anyway.
Yeah. Almost like a Bloody Mary type of thing. Maybe.
Okay, so
Kinda,
what's in a Saucy Thomas?
I think we have a job now.
We're going to create one, and we're going to drink one next episode.
Now we're talking. This is a podcast.
Okay, so
Drinking on the job.
Now, first, and it's going to be a saucy. Absolutely, we're drinking on the job. Okay, so a Saucy Thomas. What would go in though? First of all, Tom's a brandy guy, but Tom's also a gin guy, and I know that. And Brock
burp when I get excited about liquor.
And Brock has an organ dying inside him. So from time to time, that shit just happens.
It's much like the door alarm, only it's
You know what?
inside.
I want to have like a spinning wheel behind us. Which organ is it today? Left kidney.
Yeah, left kidney going to shit.
Oh God! Why do I do this with you? Oh God!
I'll take failing liver for 500, Thomas.
This has been a Mark Goodson, Bill Todman production.
The answer is failing kidney. What is causing that smell to come out of my body? That's right. 500 next. Okay, where were we? We were trying to come up with a goddamn.
And you
drink.
can go ahead and pick up that Saucy Thomas. Indicate what are they called on the wheel when they end up with you get the trip.
Oh, you reach down and you just pick it up. And you put it in
What's
front
it
of
called though? There's a name for that.
Oh, I don't know. Just a card or whatever. I don't know. You've watched way more Wheel of
card.
Fortune. Okay,
I don't know what it's a some bonus thing or I don't know.
Yeah.
I know the bankrupt one.
Okay, hold on. Let's not get dropped down into. Let's not get bogged down in Wheel of the Fortune minutia. We have a drink to create.
Well, I think
For the love of
Tabasco
God.
has to be involved,
Okay, so Tabasco.
but not just regular Tabasco. It's got to be the smoked Tabasco.
Okay.
Because that might be really good with like an extra oaky whiskey of some sort.
I see this going like the way of a Bloody Mary in a way. It's a Saucy Thomas. So yeah, smoky Tabasco.
Okay.
Probably some sort of tomato-based sauce.
Okay.
Do you want it to be clamato? Do you want it to be...
Look,
No seafood.
Spicy clamato is good news.
Bullshit.
How about some spicy hot...
You caught yourself a half second too late there.
I know. It's right there. It's like a little tiny one. It's a little tiny one. Yeah, that's bullshit. Nobody should ever eat clamato. If that's in a Saucy Thomas, I'll go back to the.
But I appreciate how you cleaned up your act with bullshit.
Oh man.
Okay, so no clamato, but we could do like a V8 vegetable juice or
V8,
something.
sure.
Spicy hot V8. There you go.
Okay, so spicy hot V8.
Yeah.
We're gonna do vodka then. It's gonna have to be a white liquor.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, we can do vodka.
So Well, it sounds like we're making a Bloody Mary.
Does 44 North do just a regular vodka, or is it all flavored stuff?
I don't know.
I think they have that. I think it's called like Idaho Wheat, which is pretty much just because that's 44. Have you done the 44
I
North
have not.
vodka?
What if
you've
we-
never done the 44 North vodka?
No, I have not.
Oh God, I'm bringing you 44 North.
It's going in the saucy
Okay,
Thomas.
so 44 North Idaho vodka, spicy V8 juice. Okay, now I want to do something a little different because it's about to turn into a Bloody
well,
Mary.
let me stand up and bend over.
We're also going to put the smoky Tabasco in it, right?
Yep.
Okay. I think it also needs, it's going to be on ice. I think it has to have a lime.
Yeah.
No, why do you do the lime thing with the? I've never understood that combination, and
What, lime with
I
Mexican
know
food?
I am a minority when it comes to that. But when I see the bag of like flaming hot Cheetos or whatever with lime, like why you've ruined
It's because it's a Mexican food.
it. Yeah,
thing.
don't put lime. But I
Okay,
mean,
Jesus. Okay, so you beat
no
the
lime.
goddamn lime.
If we can't
This
have
is what we-
spicy clamato, you can't have your lime.
Fair enough.
We need to
Jesus.
Midwesternize this a little bit.
Oh,
so there
yep,
needs to be
some
a
macaroni and
slice-
cheese
There
in it.
needs to be a slice of rutabaga in it.
Ooh, can you get rutabaga here?
No, really, you can't.
I don't know that you're going to get it.
What?
Do they grow rutabaga
we can
anymore?
try. Okay, then a parsnip.
Okay.
I haven't heard
Close
somebody
enough.
say rutabaga in years.
Okay, can I
back
make a suggestion? Because that all sounds like bullshit, and no one's going to hunt down a rutabaga. What if we just stick a cheese stick in it? Because you're
I like
from
it.
Wisconsin.
Well, I was
Yeah.
going to say also maybe a Johnsonville pre-cooked brat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. A brat
garnish.
and a cheese stick. No, we're gonna get one of those. You know the little twofer packs that you can get. It's got like a pepper stick in it and a mozzarella cheese.
the Jack Links. It's the combo pack.
We're gonna open that. We're gonna open that combo pack up. And we're gonna toothpick those bastards together and just drop them in the glass.
Are we going to remember any of this shit?
No,
I don't
Fortunately,
know.
it's recorded.
Well, you're.
There you go. Oh, that's right. Are we
so
on?
we're gonna try and put
Oh, wait,
together.
we're doing things.
Yeah, we're gonna try and put together a saucy Thomas for next episode 44 of Rock and Roll the podcast. That's gonna be fantastic. I'm desperately looking forward to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Also, hold on. This just
Uh-oh.
in.
Yeah.
We now. Hello and welcome to the Lutheran Minute. Lutheran Minute brought to you by the Lutheran Fellowship. I myself am not Lutheran, but to my right, I have two of them. Acolyte Tom Nelson, Acolyte Brock Johnson.
So do they still make rutabaga?
I hope so.
That was the Lutheran.
And that's been your Lutheran Minute. Tune in next week for the Lutheran Minute. That's fantastic.
That was
Yeah.
It's just a way for us to go to church. It's just a way for us to go to church.
Covering
man.
our Sunday bases.
Yeah, and I think that's great. You know, you don't want to do too much Lutheran Minute. It doesn't even need to be a full minute. That was probably a Lutheran 13 seconds.
Yeah.
And that was counting the intros in and out.
Now, were you in the Lutheran world where you had to go to Christmas at midnight? Because that was a Catholic thing, but some Lutherans did that.
It wasn't midnight, but it was kind of late because we lit candles.
Yeah.
And, it was always, don't burn yourself.
Okay, now I remember going to a Christmas Eve candlelight service with the Methodists, but once again, it was probably about 35 minutes long.
Yeah.
And if you didn't want to do a candle, you didn't have to. You know what? We'll just turn the lights on. To hell with it. It's a lot of work. How you guys doing?
But, it being a Lutheran service, candlelight service, later in the evening, all the men
We're drunk.
held the candles out here so there wouldn't be a big old fire.
Okay, now there's a so
Why does church smell different tonight?
because Daddy had 6 saucy Thomases before he came to service, and we tied it all together.
Wow, that was awesome.
Yeah, come full circle, I'll be damned. Ooh. I think
Can I sidetrack onto a great story real quick?
yes. The whole thing's been a sidetrack.
So when we go to a hotel, I don't drink at home a lot.
Okay.
It happens over the weekend occasionally. Like,
Sure.
And as of late, I like to go home and have a beer or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
But for the most part, I don't drink at home.
That's what work is for. Damn it.
And Saucy Thomas for the win. No, so when we go to a hotel, I'll always end up stopping and picking up a case of Mike's Hard or something fun, something festive. And on
Remember, Mike's Hard Lemonade. Nobody thinks you're gay when you buy it.
You know what my poison as of late has been? Are
What?
those damn seltzers. And I used to be making fun of people for them.
Truly?
Oh yeah.
Really? You like them?
Yeah, and I didn't. It was an acquired thing. Now I can't get enough.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
I have a problem, guys.
Yeah, you do. Okay.
So we would go to the hotel and I'd pick up a case of something, and it was the 4th of July, and I had one too many, and this is probably 3-4 years ago, and my my son comes in and he says, "Why do you smell like the hotel?"
Because son, I ate the bedspread.
I ate the bedspread, buddy.
Hey, Tom, you want more fruit by the foot?
Oh, what the hell?
That's probably a good 2.5 inches of fruit.
Now I want a ruby red grapefruit seltzer.
God. Oof. Well, I take my hat off to you because I can't do it, man.
Well, and it pisses me off that there is so little flavor, but still just as many calories as like a soda.
Yeah. Okay, so translation. It tastes like shit. You might as well have had a Pepsi.
But it doesn't. They're so easy to drink and so
you're gonna bug.
crisp and refreshing. And a lot of the a lot of the fruity drinks like Mike's Hard, you can only do like one because it's basically like a pancake syrup.
Would you please follow through and say Mike's Hard Lemonade? Because when you just keep saying Mike's Hard, I'm just thinking about a dude named Mike with a raging erection.
This is Mike. Did you call?
Was Mike at the hotel?
Shows up by Uber Eats.
Mike's Hard male escort, and he works exclusively out of Casper, Wyoming.
Rock Springs. He
in
comes from Rock Springs.
Yeah, you bet he does. Yeah. So, do you guys want to recap anything that we've done here?
What did we do? I'm not recapping that shit.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Let's see. Tommy drank the Malort.
I'm just pissed that, and because I had legitimate conversation for the podcast before it went to hell.
Okay.
Some of the indies that got swallowed up,
were
incredible indies before they got swallowed up. And
by the foot?
I'm watching my weight.
Classic example is Century Media. They were responsible for so many great rock acts back in the 90s and probably even 80s too. Then Sony bought them. Now it's all and when Sony bought them, they put them together with like Red and there's like 5 labels now that one promo guy is in charge of, who is one of the greatest promo guys of all time, but he doesn't have time to deal with a lot of stuff, let alone Twin Falls, Idaho, which really doesn't matter to the big labels. But they have decided, because Century was always a label that would be fair to the band, would pay the band what the band was due, would help the band promote, would help get the band on the road, would help. And now you look at what Century has done. Look at Stitched Up Heart, for example.
Okay.
I mean, those guys are on Century, and they've managed to make it on their own because they kick ass.
Yeah, and they hustle.
Yeah, and I just look at how Century treated their artists back in the 90s versus how they're treated now. There's just not enough people.
I would say
one guy can't run 5 promotional companies or promotional departments.
I wish I could remember the name of the bullshit label that approached. It was when I was in Foolsbane, and we had a quote-unquote manager who lied to us about everything. I knew he was lying the entire time, but I kind of just wanted to see, let's see where this goes. He actually did.
What was there to manage?
Well, that's the thing. That's the first way we should have been able to tell there was something wrong. I
would love to manage you. Great. Tonight we're still playing in my friend's garage.
Right. We had just started work on the second album, and he said, I think if you guys get a record turned out in a year, I think I can get you guys on the road, because the music you're playing, you could go play some of the European shows. Not the A stage, but we could probably get you close to some of the bigger. I was like, okay, sure. Let's see what you got. So 4 of the 5 guys in the band to get their passports. I didn't, because I knew it was horseshit.
Yeah.
Then he says, I've got a label that wants to talk to you. I actually spoke to the label guy on the phone. They were ready to pick up our second album. We had finished it. It was ready to go. It was the best thing we'd done. And we were ready to go. I mean, it was counting down, allegedly. And then the guy
was this the King's Dick or whatever what it was called? What was the album? What was the album called?
The King and the Thief.
Yeah, the King and the Thief.
He said the King's Dick.
I couldn't remember. I knew
right
King
back
was
to
involved.
my card. Wow, Brock, you really seem to have a wiener on the mind today.
I love me a dick. If there was one thing
like and subscribe
goes well with a Thursday, it's penis. Tom's dying over here.
Oh God!
So anyway, this label says, we want to pick up the record. We're gonna get distribution. Blah 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 blah.
King's Dick.
And he talks about this.
Creating the album cover in my head right
He talks about this other band that he has on there called Backyard Tire Fire. Now, I'd never heard of them. which was also probably a good warning sign right there.
Backyard tire fire.
Yeah. He then we then find out he wants to change something on the album. But long story short, we backed out. It was like it felt skeevy. We weren't going to be a part of it. Later turns out he was $500,000 in the hole.
Oh,
so
God.
instantly we would have been paying off this dipshit's debts.
Wow.
That's the life of the indie label. In my mind, the bands are almost better just doing it themselves online, on Twitch, on YouTube, on their social medias, because the little labels now have no stroke. Nothing.
Not
You've got to pay for your own promo guy.
Not
You've gotta-
necessarily true. There are a handful of indies that are doing stuff the right way. The Orchard does a fine job. There's another one that it slips my mind, but the lady who runs Pokey Pete Records, yes. The lady who runs it is actually on the air somewhere.
Okay.
And so she's a radio pro. But she started this label and is kicking ass at it. And there's always a promotional budget that comes along with the single pushes.
Okay.
And
Okay. So
the
that's
albums.
legit.
But then you look, going back to your major label thing, I look at what God, I don't. Some of these stories I don't think I'm supposed to be telling, so I'm not going to say names.
Okay.
But Capitol Records, huge label, right? And there was an independent band who, for the longest time, refused to sign a contract. They and we play them on the edge, and they're fantastic dudes. They held out and did the independent thing for so long. Finally, they were approached by Capitol Records. Capitol Records comes in and says, "Look, you guys are great. We want to sign you." The CEO of the company, I think his name was Bob something, but he had been with Capitol for like 30 years.
He must be Dutch.
Yeah. Bob Dick.
Bob Dick. Wow, once again, we go right back.
Yeah. He had been
Thursday.
Welcome to Penis Thursday.
Penis Thursday.
It's the best.
And this band said, we're not signing unless this guy's involved, because this guy's been with the corporation for 30 years or something like that. So this dude is there at the signing, signs it, gives them $30,000, fronts them $30,000 to go record an album. They record an album.
Remember that.
Which was one of the best things that they had ever done. So then this guy, I can't remember how he lost his role as CEO. He lost his role. They no longer had support from the label, and they still owed the label $30,000 because the label had already paid. I mean, that's got to be a two-way street, because the label's going to give you $30,000 to go record a record, but then you're counting on touring and album sales and things like that to pay that back. Well, if at the end of the day they spend $30 recording the album, but then the label isn't there to help promote it, and there's no singles being shopped to radio, and
you
there's
still
no
have to pay back the money.
You still have to pay back the $30,000.
Stay away from the labels.
Yeah.
They're the devil. I think this podcast, you managed to put it back on the rails.
But it was too late.
It was just, it was a giant train of Malort and Dick.
I think
it's Penis Thursday.
It's Penis Thursday.
And you know what's good on a Penis Thursday is a Saucy Thomas.
Saucy Thomas. Yeah. We've invented a cocktail. I said, we'll drink it next episode. I bet we don't.
Probably not. But I am just going to bring down a bottle of 44 North for you to try.
I don't think there's anything wrong with us actually bringing down a bottle of liquor we actually enjoy. I've got a bottle of Old Forester 1920 sitting in my liquor cabinet right now. Ooh.
I got a lot of empty bottles in my car.
This has been Rock and Roll, the podcast. Please share it with a friend or a loved one or somebody you hate, or share it with somebody you know in the record business, or share it with somebody whose name is Mike Hard. Let him know he was very, very popular with Brock on this episode.
His name wasn't Mike Hard. He was Mike, and he was hard. Mike's hard.
We want
Mike's hard.
Okay. See, now you can't say anything about the sponsor. Tommy, you're gonna have to handle this. Big thanks to our sponsor, Power Plant. PowerPlantWeb.com.
PowerPlantWeb. Why am I doing that?
I don't know. It's like we're melting down.
This episode has wholly been all of us just kind of giggling at each other.
It really has. Well, we all really think each other are funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was it.
God, we're great.
We really are great, and we hope you agree. And make sure to share this with somebody. And we're going to take off because I have another radio show to go do probably almost now.
Is it about that time?
It's probably pretty much.
Nah, you got a half hour.
You know who doesn't have a radio show, though? Rutherford B. Hayes.
We had to get him in. Rock and Roll, the podcast.
Yes.
I would give you a show.
I would give you a show, Rutherford B. Hayes.
And by the way, Mike's hard if you got nothing.
I knew that was coming, man.
And remember, next week the Lutheran Minute will return along with just all of this sweet podcasty content. Until the next time, my name's Dr. Nick Redbone. That's Brock Johnson. That is Atomic Tommy Nelson. Peace, love, and rock and roll. Tip your waitress. We're out of here. Freeze frame.